Hello and welcome to Mystery Simon Theater 3000. I'm Simon, and this is a podcast where I'm sharing my collection of almost 3,000 VHS tapes. Each episode, I'm going to talk about 3 tapes that I watched. One of them is chosen at random via random number generator. The second one is chosen by my co-host, who today is co-host Johnny, producer Johnny. And the third tape is chosen by a guest. And this episode, that guest is Melissa Buchta.
Hi.
Of the Funhouse Lounge Improv Comedy Troupe. Did I get all the words right in the right order?
You did.
Yay!
Yes. Cool. Thank you for having me on.
I'm so excited to have you. You picked one of my favorite movies of all times, and I can't wait to talk about it. But just real quick, tell us about the kind of comedy that you do. You were telling us kind of really pandering to the audience of 2 by telling us that you do a Star Trek TNG show.
Yes, so through Funhouse Lounge, I'm involved with a group that does Star Trek: The Next Generation, the musical. So we're USS Improvise, The Next Generation, the musical. And every January, it's tradition. Our show runs over at Funhouse, and we basically do it's like you're watching a never before seen episode of Star Trek TNG that is made up for you on the spot. It's also a musical, which is also improvised. So we improvise all the songs and lyrics and everything. And we have
That's amazing.
Props, costumes. Thank you. Yeah, we want to try and look exactly as close to authentic as we can.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been amazing. And through that show, I've been able to actually attend a few improv festivals. We've been invited to perform at Comic-Cons. So we've done Emerald City Comic-Con. We've done Rose City Comic-Con. We've been to Improvaganza in Honolulu, Hawaii, and SFIT, or the Seattle Festival of Improvised Theater, which has been pretty cool. So it's been amazing to be able to go on the road. Oh, we also did Star Trek Con in Vegas in August a few years ago. I was not able to attend that one, but I've seen pictures and it was a hoot.
Oh, it must have been like talk about pandering to the.
Oh, I know, right? Yeah.
Oh, that sounds great. So when is your next lineup of shows happening?
Yeah. So tickets are up right now. You can check the link at funhouselounge.com or our website ussimprovise.com. And we run the second week of January through the second week of February. So it's about a 5-week run over at Funhouse Lounge, which is over on Southeast 11th and Division. If you're in Portland, Oregon, that's where we are. And we do more than just Star Trek improv. We have a whole slate of scripted and non-scripted shows over there. Right now we're doing Die Hard the musical parody, which is our Christmas tradition.
Sounds awesome.
It's amazing.
Awesome.
It is pretty great. It's so good. I love it. This is our 5th year running doing it.
Whoa, cool.
Yeah. And people clamor for it. People know it's coming. The booths basically are sold out the first week the ticket link goes up.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Congrats.
That's great. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. Good luck. It's December. Good luck getting a ticket. I don't know if there even are any left.
We'll have to watch out for next year.
Yes. Oh, it is streaming though. Andy's been streaming it. Andy Barrett is the creative director. He's been streaming it on the 24th, 25th, and 26th of December.
Cool.
So, and he's doing that again this year. So
That's awesome.
if you really want to watch it, you can get your tickets that way and watch a streamed version of it.
Cool. Sounds cool.
Yeah.
Well, great. I'm so excited. Again, we're so excited to have you here and to talk about movies. We just got to talking. Well, we've been talking for a little while we were setting up the lights. But you seem to love movies just as much as we do and watched quite a lot of TV like we did growing up.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Well, like we were talking about, my family and I grew up, I'm originally from Alaska, and we grew up a block away from the Totem Theater. Shout out Totem Theater. And it was our thing on the weekends, just to go to the movies, basically. So,
Cool.
yeah, I've just grown up. The theater is my kind of safe space.
Mm.
Yeah, that's awesome.
The first tape I'd like to get out of the way is 1994's television miniseries, Scarlett.
Ooh.
Did you know that in 1991, there was an official sequel novel written, a sequel to Gone with the Wind?
Oh, yes. I've heard about this, but I've never actually sat down to watch it.
Well, this is the miniseries based on that fan fiction.
Oh no.
Because that's exactly what watching this felt like. It was fan fiction, and it I had a pretty strange experience watching this. Like I read a one sentence description before watching it, so I thought it was maybe just Gone with the Wind, because there's nothing here. Like, I hadn't read the log line. I like to save it for reading it to you. And so I just thought it was going to be like a 6-hour version of Gone with the Wind, which isn't making it that much longer, I don't think. But I think after the first hour and a half, we dived into it, or like we started just Googling it and realized that no, this is the sequel, which I was so confused that first like hour and a half, but I kind of continued to stay confused for most of this miniseries. Did you have anything to say, like any hot takes about Scarlett?
Well, I guess my hot take would be that I didn't completely hate it.
Oh.
So that would be a hot take. Because I think most people
I never said I hated
would
it.
maybe feel that way.
Does it star any of the original cast members from Gone with the Wind? I'm sure it doesn't, but
No.
I don't think so. Every one of importance or prominence is probably like in their 50s at the oldest. Maybe 60s, but probably like in their 50s.
Yeah.
Most of this cast, or younger.
I really liked Dalton in this one. Timothy Dalton?
Timothy Dalton.
Yeah, Timothy Dalton's in this one, and I kept like as we were watching the first couple episodes, I was like, why does this guy look so familiar? Well,
It wasn't James Bond.
It wasn't James Bond. I was like, I feel like this guy should own a grocery store or something.
oh yes,
It's Hot Fuzz. This is the guy from Hot Fuzz. So I think maybe that endeared me to it, because he's like my favorite villain
He's great.
of all time.
he's a slasher of prices.
I love that movie.
I most recently know him from his work. Like, he's one of the stars of Penny Dreadful, which I like mostly enjoyed, like a lot. So, and he's a silver fox in that one, or at least like a salt and pepper daddy. Okay, but again, like this cover doesn't give you much to go on unless you know that this is the miniseries sequel to Gone with the Wind.
Yeah, the Scarlett is Scarlett O'Hara.
Mm-hmm.
So again, we have Timothy Dalton and Joanne Whalley Kilmer. This was Val Kilmer's wife, and she was familiar to me because I grew up watching Willow, and she plays the princess in that one, the like sort of antagonist throughout the whole movie, but eventually falls in love with the Val Kilmer character, which is, I think, where they met. And so it just says, the greatest love story ever told. The complete 6-hour romantic epic. Tomorrow is another day.
Ooh, the greatest love story ever told. I don't know, debatable? Maybe?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely debatable.
All the romance, passion, drama that begin with Gone with the Wind continues in Scarlett. I would have known that if I just read the logline, but again, I like to be just as surprised as everyone going through it. The unforgettable sequel. Power-packed with captivating performances by Joanne Whalley Kilmer, Scandal, and Timothy Dalton, The Living Daylights. Scarlett sweeps you off your feet with more excitement and passion from one of the most romantic periods in American history.
Okay.
Romantic, yeah.
For Scarlett O'Hara, the Civil War is over, but not her desire for Rhett Butler.
Oh, no.
She must have him back, no matter what the cost. From the ruins of Tara to the streets of Ireland, back to the American Southland, Scarlett woos this lovable cad with an intensity only she could sustain. Strong, proud, self-sufficient, sexually assertive, and innocently sweet. What adjectives are left? What?
Big fucking mouth.
Big mouth.
Manipulative, conniving. I mean,
Selfish.
there are so many.
Drunk. Scarlett is a woman who knows what she wants and exactly how to get it. Now, only time will tell if her international ordeal was worth the price. The reunion of Rhett Butler and Scarlett O'Hara was the most anticipated in recent film history. Was it?
I'm gonna go with
Was it?
No. He left. He left her. It's kind of like you just sort of shake her and, girl, get a grip. He's gone. You're obviously, you two are not right for each other. Yeah.
Now you can enjoy 6 of the most passionate hours ever captured on film anytime you desire.
Oh my God. No.
There are no quotes on here. Like, no one had anything worth saying and reprinting for this box. But we do get the supporting cast on the back, which got me a little bit excited. We got our friend Sheen Bean back. Who else? We got Annabeth Gish. Who else did I call it last time? Paul Winfield. And Margaret is in this for not that long, actually. But still, like, Jean Smart is in it.
Oh my gosh. Probably a really young Jean Smart, too.
Youngish.
Young, yeah.
There are parts of Scarlett that are absolutely good heckle watches. So there's no trailers that we can get into, but my, like, one word and or one phrase description of Scarlett is, she is a Real Housewife of Atlanta.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. That's a fair description.
All she is doing, like, the entire time, she is starting needless drama, being really selfish and drunk. At one point, she, like, and I think this is, like, a low point for the character where she got kicked out of, like, the 3rd house that she was staying at. She grabs a bottle of booze, goes up to her room, and just starts chugging. Has that moment, that trope, where she's looking at herself in the mirror, she sees the bottle, and she was just like, what has happened to you, Scarlett O'Hara? And she's just like, Scarlett O'Hara gets what she wants, you coward, and throws the bottle at the mirror, and she's like, you are not selfish enough. Which is like...
I love a good trope.
She that last line she doesn't say, but that is what she's telling herself. She's just like, how dare you not go after the thing that you want? You always get what you want. Like, by then we were speechless, because up until then it had been a joke, and now it was just a caricature. Bad things happen to good people because of shit she says.
Yeah.
Like, unintentionally too. She has no idea, like, not a clue, the consequence or impact of the words that she's saying.
Yeah.
It's like they never actually affect her.
Yeah.
It's a Real Housewife.
I'll say this. I'll give it. I'll extol one virtue. The production quality on this TV series is actually incredible.
Got some good costumes.
Got some great costumes, great sets.
Oh yeah.
Really, really beautiful shots. Like, this was a very competent piece of work from a production standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like I said, I'm a sucker for a good period historical costume. Yeah, I love it.
I'm quickly realizing I might be one too. We've done a few of these costume drama type pieces so far, and I never dislike them as much as I think. Yeah. All right. So, would you rewind it?
Did not.
Did not.
Would not. I mean, I know we have to rewind it so we can rip it for the edit. But no, I do not. I would not elect to watch this again. If someone wanted to watch it with me, I'd protest at the very least. But it's 6 hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
We were winded after the first
You
one.
were winded.
I was winded.
You were winded.
After the first tape. So,
with stuff like this, I just have to tell myself I have a finite amount of time left on this planet. Is this really something I want to be doing?
Yeah. Yeah.
well, again, like this is at least just like a fun adventure. All of these tapes are going to be a fun adventure for me and for you. But I do have like rewatches are choices that I get to make.
Yeah, yeah. This I would say for anyone who has a history with Gone with the Wind, it might be worth a watch. I don't know if
it wasn't 6 hours.
Yeah, I would say it's worth a watch for some of the better scenes. There's some, like, the cliffhanger of the first season is actually shot really well. Yeah, or like the first part of it, like, yeah. Well, cause I don't know if this happened over multiple seasons or not, but yeah, the there's like just some really great, like, dark sort of, like, Southern Gothic kind of like things. It's just really, really cool sets. Yeah.
Yes.
Have you both seen the original? Just out of curiosity, have you both seen?
I have not.
In middle school, I did.
In middle school,
Yeah.
okay. I don't know. I mean, it definitely isn't like, oh, go run right now and stop what you're doing and watch it because it'll make everything in this make total sense. Blah 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 blah. But I'd say as from a film history, lens or whatever. Yeah, I'd say everyone should, check it out at least once.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to when it comes up.
Mhm.
If I don't end up picking it myself. So yeah.
Okay.
All right. Cool.
Our next movie is our guest tape, 1999's Galaxy Quest. Starring Tim Allen, Sigourney Weaver, and another Alan Rickman movie.
Another Alan Rickman.
Ooh.
We did one last week.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
It was Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
Maybe not so nice. But I'm sure he was the best part about that movie.
Actually
He
was.
the best part of that movie. Yes.
Yep.
And here, like, I don't know if he's the best part of this. Like, he might be the best part of this movie too. I have to maybe say
Tony
like
Shalhoub.
I know.
Oh,
I was saying, like,
I have so many like things that came up on this particular rewatch for me, and one of them was, my God, Tony Shalhoub.
Yes.
My God.
Yes.
Just A+, gold star. Whatever he was on during this, I want it in batches. Oh
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Oh man.
legalize it now.
Yes. Yes.
Decriminalize it now.
Please. Yes.
So Melissa, why did you choose 1999's Galaxy Quest?
Well, when you both were telling me about the podcast and about what you guys were doing and the huge video collection, there was definitely, I love being random and leaving it up to chance. And then I really thought about it, and I've had quite the year, and I thought it would just be something. It would be wonderful just to watch something that brings me joy. And so I was thinking about it, and I thought, oh, you guys wouldn't have Galaxy Quest, would you? And then Johnny said that you did, and I was like, yes, oh, perfect, yes, I want to watch Galaxy Quest. This is one of my Desert Island discs. It's one of my like top 5 or top 10 I could watch it over and over and over again and be completely and thoroughly entertained. This thing honestly has aged like a fine wine,
Yeah.
personally.
Yes. It
Yeah.
really has.
Yeah. It is, dare I say, a perfect film.
Simon's
did say.
words. Simon's
we did.
words.
This has everything I love about comedy. Every single joke and scenario that is set up is completely paid off. And I love that attention to the writing and to the pacing. That's another thing I noticed on this rewatch. I was like, oh yeah, okay. And I'm laughing not only at the jokes, but I'm laughing in anticipation of the jokes and the punchlines and everything. So
Yeah.
what is there to say? It's freaking Galaxy Quest. I adore this film. I was so happy that you both had it in your collection.
Yeah. This is one we have in our personal and in this collection. So it's definitely one of our faves too.
Yes.
Yeah, I rewatch it maybe like at least once a year. I think it is an example of how to like satirize something. Like if you're gonna make fun of a thing, of something that's really well known, and of course this is mostly satirizing Star Trek, but I love that it's going beyond just kind of what Spaceballs did, which is like set in space, where it's kind of like set in the future past or whatever. Like this is examining the lives and relationships of the people who are kind of like caught up in this kind of fandom and have become these icons that have taken a life of its own, and it's become claustrophobic and inhibiting. And I think for some of these characters, like they hate their on-screen personas, or at least like the characters' characters.
Yeah.
I was trying to phrase that well, and I don't think it can be, or at least not by me.
But it's all played for not just for laughs. Sure, for laughs, absolutely. But there's so much love. This is a love letter to Star Trek, to the sci-fi, old school sci-fi TV genre. It's a love letter to the fans. I mean, obviously spoilers for Galaxy Quest if you have not seen this, but
You should.
yeah, absolutely, go watch this movie, especially if you've never seen it. But the heroes of the movie aren't just the crew, they're
Right.
the fans.
Right.
They're the literal
Yes.
nerds
Yes.
who have, the schematics and everything of the ship that are downloaded on their computers, and they talk about them every day, and they live and they eat and they sleep and they breathe it. They're the heroes. Without them, Sigourney Weaver and Tim Allen would not have been able to activate the Omega-13 device and save the ship, basically.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
I haven't even gotten to the relevant conundrum.
I hadn't even gotten to the relevant conundrum.
Oh,
It's such a good line.
oh
This
my
is like
God.
Never caught that one before
So
this
many-
watch.
Yes.
It's like you fucking
Yes.
nerds. I love it.
Oh, it's so good. Every time when everyone beams aboard the Protector for the first time, and Sam Rockwell guy has his freak out, like that's funny because
Yeah.
it's just completely unhinged. But then you've got Tony Shalhoub, MVP of this movie,
Right.
who like beams in, and he's just like, "It's a hell of a thing." I'm like, oh, I want that. I want it on a T-shirt. I want to hang it on my wall. Oh my God, that gets me
That's a state of,
every single time.
that's a state of
Yeah,
mind.
yeah, totally.
Is Tony
so
Shalhoub in this
good.
movie?
It's so good.
Tech Sergeant Chen.
Tech Sergeant Chen. Tech Sergeant Chen.
Right.
This is a movie I wish I could have saw in theaters.
Me too. Yep.
Are you familiar with the changing aspect ratios that happen throughout this movie?
No.
So if you saw this in theaters, because we watched it on the tape version, and so I'm curious about your streaming version.
because that's how I streamed it. Yeah.
The ratio changes twice. So there are 3 different aspect ratios that were designed in this movie. And the first one, the film opens up with the TV show that Galaxy Quest is kind of revolving around. So of course it's going to be just like that square aspect ratio, and then that opens up to just like a regular was it like 16 by 9?
Yeah, 16:9 or like kind of letterbox.
Just very very standard video aspect ratio. And then when Tim Allen is on the ship and he's about to be sent back to Earth, and he's about to like witness the reality of the situation that he's in for the first time, or at least like the gravity, no pun intended, of the situation that he's in. And so he's covered in the goo, and then those like pod doors open. And what was supposed to happen if you were watching this in the theaters is those like the curtains were supposed to move, and then we go into like cinema ratios.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Cool.
That is so cool. So I can tell you on the streamed version and the DVD, because I believe I have this one physically. Thank goodness. I actually have a physical copy of
We
this.
should get a DVD copy of it.
Oh shit.
Yeah. But those, so on the streamed versions, those aspect ratios, at least the first two are kept.
Okay.
So the TV aspect ratio is there for all of the TV bits. And then it does just go into widescreen.
Mm.
So unfortunately, nothing happens. You get to experience the scene as it is. The aspect ratio doesn't change. But to see that in the theater,
theaters.
Gosh.
that
Yeah,
would
how
be
cool.
incredible. Because even watching it, it's with the music and the expression on his face and what you're seeing and everything. Oh my gosh, it's wonderment. It's incredible. It's so cool. And I don't know if it's just this time of year or just I haven't had my yearly rewatch of Galaxy Quest yet this year. So I found myself tearing up at different points. Honestly.
Oh, it's that kind of movie.
Oh, it
for
totally
sure.
is.
Yeah,
It totally. And I'm
absolutely.
sitting there going, I'm crying over Galaxy Quest. I'm like, yeah, I'm crying over Galaxy Quest.
When Alan Rickman delivers that line.
Oh my god.
And like he means it sincerely, and like he like with his whole body is like, yes, I mean this and I want to say it. This thing I am sick and tired of hearing.
Like, this is why Alan Rickman learned Shakespeare, is for that scene.
Yeah.
For that moment. I've had 5 curtain calls.
Well, actually, okay, so that actually, to go into just like some of my favorite things about the movie was just like the tone of it is set up so perfectly in that opening scene, like after we watch the television show, and it kind of dumps us into this convention, and then you just kind of see where everyone is, and in one just like weaving of exchanges that these characters have probably had so many times, you just like really understand like how much they fucking hate their lives, and how this show has become like their golden handcuffs. And the best part is, or at least like most of it is, Alan Rickman and the Tony Shalhoub, where Alan Rickman is just like wallowing in this rehearsed like sad sack, all the like 5 curtain call, like all that stuff, and then Tony Shalhoub is just there like, yeah, 5 curtain calls. And just like,
right. He can recite the whole thing. And then Tim Allen comes in, he's like, oh, am I too late for Alexander's panic attack?
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah. It's just like, oh, they've been doing this for so many years. And no, you can just feel it. It's palpable.
Yeah, absolutely. I
mean,
love that he's like the scenes where Alan Rickman's like at home. He's still in his prosthetic.
He never takes it off. He never takes it off.
well, I'm pretty
good.
sure. So, like by the end of the movie, when he's actually been fighting and it's starting to come off,
Yes, his hair and
the
everything.
prosthetic goes down to his nose.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm pretty sure that's just like a patience and budget thing. Like, he's probably doing his own makeup for all of these stupid events that he has to go to. And it makes no sense. Of course he's going to be just like the most salty about where he is with this character, because he has to stay in those fucking prosthetics for who knows. Like, I don't know, he probably has a schedule where just like every 3 or 4 days, kind of like me with shaving my head, it's just like you gotta fucking take it off, wash the head, and reapply.
That's a good point.
It's interesting to watch a group of people that, well, I like what you said about golden handcuffs, because this is all they have. I mean, we can assume that, or infer that, these guys probably aren't getting a whole lot of work. People aren't really lining up, banging down their door to offer them jobs. This is it. This is what they're known for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is what they're gonna do.
That's actually the thing that gets them on the ship. Is like it's a gig. Oh
yeah. Let's think about it. Yep.
It's like, he's not going to invite us to another gig.
Yeah.
Right.
It's great image for the box art. We have just our main characters. They're looking up. Tim Allen is in his hangover clothes, which is like one of our entry points into the adventure. So just great contrast between. Is it not?
There you go.
Okay. Great contrast between him and like the supporting characters. So we got Tim Allen, Sigourney Weaver, Alan Rickman are all above the title, and David Anson from Newsweek says 4 stars, funny.
Well,
It's an understatement.
yes, I would happen to agree with that.
I also don't imagine that, like, I remember this movie kind of being panned a little bit, or people not thinking.
It very much was.
I think I've met a few people who still don't, like, never seen it. They just kind of remember it as being a hokey, like late 90s.
That's what I thought.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see this
Oh.
movie until I think,
Me?
we were living up here.
Wow.
Or maybe I saw it when we
You're
first
still in
met in
LA?
LA.
Huh.
But yeah.
I didn't see this until the 6th grade, when I was in the 6th grade, and it had already been out of theaters. I don't remember how long it had been out of theaters, but I don't remember it staying very long. But as some kind of a reward or whatever, someone in the class got to choose a movie to watch, and they picked Galaxy Quest. And my teacher was like, "Well, it's PG-13. I'll have to get parental permission, blah blah blah." So we got the permission, and then we watched it, and I just it stuck with me. You watch it once, and if you like it, if this movie is for you, it's just something that will stay with you for the rest of your life.
Totally.
And it just completely and utterly has.
Yeah.
I think it's probably PG for the violence, because this is a very kid-friendly movie.
Oh, extremely.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the violence can be it can be a little scary. I mean, the torture scene, I remember watching that for the first time and being scared a little bit for Mathazar, and you're watching this character you've grown to love being hurt on screen, and it's kind of it can be brutal if you've never seen something like that before.
I mean, Sarah's holds up, and it's an alien head, but he holds up like a severed head, and
Right.
it's a big tone shift in the whole movie for all our characters, and it's like, at least that's what I think of when I think of like the violence in this movie is it's a severed head.
But then it's also so campy, and that's honoring basically everything that happens on the planet, on the Beryllium planet, when they're with the arena, and I mean that's just complete straight
That's
up
dark.
Well, it's dark, but it's also complete straight up homage to like Star Trek, the original series. Like it's basically their version of Captain Kirk fighting the Gorn, essentially.
Okay.
Complete with like the rocks and the set and just everything. Yeah, it's great. It's so great. Granted, the monsters look a little bit better than the men in the rubber suits that William Shatner was fighting, but it's straight up homage.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then we got 2 thumbs up, Roger Ebert and Harry Knowles from Roger Ebert and the Movies. For 4 years, the courageous crew of the Nespa Protector, Commander Peter Quincy Taggart, Tim Allen, Lieutenant Tawny Madison, Sigourney Weaver, and Dr. Lazarus, Alan Rickman, set off on a thrilling often dangerous mission in space. And then their series was canceled. Now, 20 years later, aliens under attack have mistaken the Galaxy Quest television transmissions for, quote, historical documents, and beamed up the crew of has-been actors to save the universe. With no script, no director, and no clue, the actors must turn in the performances of their lives. In this hilarious adventure, Jeffrey Lyons of NBC TV calls the funniest, wittiest comedy of the year. Even the logline is well written.
Yeah,
I mean,
that is a good log line.
Gives you everything you need to know. You got some. I don't know, I feel like I've been a little harsh on a lot of like the way the backs of boxes are designed, but this one is mostly fine. Yeah, I think it looks great. But again, the log line is like, I'm so happy with how that log line is read.
It's better than the Robin Hood log line, which is like a
No, the Robin
busted
Hood...
haiku.
Yes. I was going to say, like, the nice thing about the Robin Hood log line is that it's 3 lines.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It says almost nothing about the film.
And the trailer, this one had trailers, which is always nice. The first one is actually, there's a few animated ones. There's again, so this is a very kid-friendly movie, and so a lot of the trailers are movies for kids. The first one being The Road to El Dorado.
Oh,
featuring the soundtrack by Elton John and somebody else who also worked on The Lion King.
Tim Rice.
Yes.
There you go.
Elton. Elton. Next was another movie we almost watched recently, which was Chicken Run on video.
Oh, Chicken Run's pretty good. It holds up. Yeah.
Yeah, like fun little stop motion movie. I haven't seen it since probably since it came out.
Oh, do you know there's a sequel now? Chicken Run 2: Rise of the Nugget.
No. Did it get a VHS release?
Unfortunately, no. It's very
new?
recent. It's
Okay.
very new. It's streaming somewhere. I don't remember where at the moment, but
Chicken Run is somewhere. I think it's
in this
behind here.
area.
Following that was Beethoven's Third, starring Judge Julia, as I like to call it. Just Judge Reinhold and Julia Sweeney.
Oh,
Yeah, this is one of those films where I'm just like, it's probably just a paycheck movie for both of them.
Woof.
It didn't. Yeah, it doesn't look good. And I've even watched like Beethoven's Second fairly recently because I love Debbie Mazar. And also I watched Beethoven and Beethoven Second a lot growing up. And I was pretty pleased to have seen that the second one kind of holds up well enough. All right, next to another movie trailer that we've talked about before. It is Dragonheart: A New Beginning, the sequel to was it Dennis Quaid's Dragonheart? Anyways, this trailer is different from the one that we watched on a previous episode. Do you remember what episode that was?
Yeah, so we actually saw this trailer on The Mummy.
Those are the trailers. Yeah, it just ended with a better Dragonheart 2 trailer.
Yeah, definitely made this movie look at least
watchable,
kind of compelling. Yeah.
Oh, we're doing one word. Yeah, perfect. This movie is perfect. It's the perfect kind of satire. It has perfect casting. It is a really, really tight script. Everything is just so thoughtful. And you can tell that the actors put in the work to develop these characters on a deeper level. And for a spoof comedy, it's really an overachiever. That's the phrase I'm using. It is overachiever.
Yeah. Melissa, if you had one word to describe this.
Or one phrase.
This movie it's like hitting the joy button in my head over and over and over again. Yeah, joy.
Cool. Yeah, love it. Seasonally appropriate too.
Yeah, right?
Chicken soup for the sci-fi soul.
Oh, I love that. You are so right.
Next, we have.
Well, wait, you don't get off that easy.
Oh, we have to do
You got to
this, like-
tell the people. Are you going to rewind this one? Of course.
Oh, yeah. Yes, I did rewind it. I have to rewind it if I'm going to watch it again next year, which starts in a few weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely, positively. If rewinding it means I just get to watch it again, yes,
Yeah.
always going to rewind it.
Next, we have 1991's Nightbreed. Written, directed by Clive Barker, starring David Cronenberg.
Wow.
I mean, the actual star is somebody else, but David Cronenberg is like the second co-star. This movie is strange for unfortunately all the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
It's a bummer. It's a bummer.
No.
And Johnny did looked into it. It's supposedly not the fault of Clive Barker.
I'm inclined to believe that. I just what this movie ended up being, it's hard for me to think that Clive Barker
made
set
such a bad
out to
movie.
write this movie. Like, because I don't think he would have gotten David Cronenberg to sign on to this movie if he would have told him that, like, yeah, this is what I'm making. Like, he had to tell him, like, this is what I want to make. The studios killed this one.
I'm sorry.
Well, just to set it up, like there are no trailers for this tape, but what it does open up with is a really short, maybe like 2-minute. Could you even call it a featurette?
It was like 5 minutes.
Was it?
It was, yeah.
Okay. Like it opens up with a featurette of Clive Barker talking to the audience with like all the prosthetics kind of on display with like mood lighting, and he's telling you about this movie you're about to watch. He's setting up this world that you're about to be dropped into. And I thought that was like a little bit of a change of pace. It was actually kind of charming and kind of nice. And then like 20 minutes into the movie, I was just like, oh, like we needed him to tell us what was going on because I have no fucking clue what's happening. The movie ended, and what I disliked most about this movie was how hard it was to follow. Like everything was just so incoherent. Everything down to like the like character choices and motivations were just out the door. I have no idea. You know, we're in this weird underground world where like these dead creatures live, and it's not at all clear who they are, how they exist, why they exist, what their relationship to the surface living world is. And I just got so distracted, like I couldn't pay attention because I had nothing to hold on to, like literally nothing to hold on to in this movie. This is a really, really great cover.
Incredible cover. This cover,
Nightbreed, like the whole lockup of the title is incredible. We got just like a cast of characters in various degrees of monstrosity. Although I do think they like a lot of them do look goofy.
I mean, they do, but I think it's supposed to, and you know, there, of course, you know, plenty of problematic things about this, but I think it is supposed to be maybe a callback to sort of like something like Freaks or something like that.
Sure.
And so it like definitely has that feel on the cover. And yeah, I mean, if anything can be said about this, I think it is one of the most iconic VHS of all time. Like I don't know if there's a single person I knew who grew up watching horror that wouldn't just recall this cover, having passed it in, you know, whatever video store you grew up by. It is really striking.
Okay. And so we have from Clive Barker, the creator of Hellraiser, Nightbreed. Come meet the dead of night. Clive Barker is, quote, horror's new king, says someone at the Los Angeles Times. Starring Craig Schaefer, Anne Bobby, David Cronenberg, and Charles Hayde, who actually is pretty good in this. The New York 3 stars. Says the New York Post, Houston Post, New York Daily News, and San Jose Mercury News. They're
Guess
all
that's
jumping on.
okay.
Oh my goodness. Do you even, if it's anything below 4 stars, do you even bother putting the stars on there? I mean, 3 stars.
It's just
yeah.
funny. They got 4 different news outlets or like 4 different publications that gave it 3 stars. So it's just like, again, we're gonna take what we can get. There's no point in pulling something out of context because there probably wasn't anything to pull out of context for a quote. But I didn't notice this before because it's just like white text over a bunch of stuff happening. But it says, with personal introduction by Clive Barker. So let's see.
And that takes the place of our trailers, by the way.
Mhm.
So
Like that'll be featured in our newsletter, my Mystery Simon Theater 3000 newsletter, which you can find at weirdwonderfulstuff.substack.com. Please subscribe. I put a lot of work into those.
she hates writing.
I hate writing, which is there. It's full of pictures, and that's where we
Ooh.
put all of our, like, we export all of just the trailers, and those are in the newsletter. So if you want to see the trailers that are on and the little featurette, please subscribe to my newsletter. Let's dive in. Enter a netherworld of darkness and terror as horror maven Clive Barker, Hellraiser, takes you on an unforgettable journey to fear and back. Welcome to the Nightbreed. Far below the waking world lies the secret lost city of Midian, a subterranean haven for a society of dead souls called the Nightbreed. Boone, Craig Schaefer, is a psychiatric patient haunted by the conviction that he has committed unspeakable crimes. Seeking sanctuary from the police and his own cold-blooded psychiatrist, Dr. Decker, David Cronenberg, Boone discovers Midian and joins the hidden tribes of the night. As the police and Decker close in on Midian, Boone realizes that his personal destiny is to defend this supernatural city against the living world that seeks to destroy it. Yeah, I guess my overall hot take for this movie is that it has the storytelling sensibilities of a children's fantasy movie on TV.
Yeah, I think it's a hard story to tell, as is true of many Clive Barker stories.
With
Not
that much world
yeah.
building,
And
yeah,
probably
like it's-
even harder to market.
Yes.
Like, it isn't something, like,
Yeah.
even with Galaxy Quest and Scarlett, you can easily sum those movies up in one sentence.
Right.
Give me your elevator pitch for those movies. Oh,
Right.
yeah, that's not a problem. This?
Yeah.
I'm confused just listening to you
Yeah.
talk about it.
And here's what I would say, like, for anyone who feels like they've wanted the movie that goes further into who the Cenobites are,
Oh, sure.
I feel like this gets as close as we're gonna get until Clive Barker finds the funding to like make this series proper. Because it like it's that same idea of like these are like a people who like exist through generations and like they're beyond human. All right, if you had to put this into one word, what would it be?
Mess. It's unfortunate. Like I really wanted to like this. And actually this is actually a perfect background party tape. The gore, it's not too gory. Like some of the practical prosthetics and the puppets can get kind of slimy and uncomfortable, but I think if you just have like the right crowd, they'd be into it. Or if you put this on at a bar on mute, it'd probably go over really, really well. And it's just one of those movies that is interesting to look at and is more enjoyable when you're just looking at it. But it's a mess. And I know it's not his fault.
Yeah. I'll say must own. I think every horror aficionado should have a copy of this movie. If not for any other reason than like there is some incredible character design like just incredible character design and like tie-ins with the music. There's a guy who's got these snakes, and so of course Danny Elfman does his great snake charming like oboe music, like or clarinet, you know, like so it's just like it's chock full of really great scenes. I think this is definitely a character movie. Like some of the various characters in the Nightbreed, you know, I could definitely see how if you go to a horror con, you're going to see these people in cosplay. So it's iconic, and I think it deserves to be. It's just unfortunate that like it's
Why it's iconic.
Yeah, well, it's unfortunate that there's not a lot of substance to back it up. But I'm interested to read Cabal because that.
Heard what he said? What chance have we got? They're armed. So am I. Come to daddy.
Figure out what the story's supposed to be.
Yeah. I'm with you there. I'm going to brush up on my Exodus and rewatch.
You do that.
It's been years.
Now it's time for the mystery part of Mystery Simon Theater 3000. I find out what tapes I have to watch this week. Okay.
So for our viewers out there, next week we'll be welcoming Aaron Coulter, owner of Clinton Street Theater.
I think he's co-owner.
Co-owner, even, of Clinton Street Theater.
I believe, and maybe you know this, Melissa, like the Clinton Street Theater is employee-owned.
Yes. Now they.
So there are many co-owners.
Yeah, there's like a little co-op.
It's a co-op.
Basically. Mm-hmm. Yeah, when Lonnie Joe stepped down, it was a bunch of employees that stepped up.
Okay.
And took it over.
How cool. Awesome. So
yeah.
If you reside in Portland or if you intend to visit Portland, go see a movie at Clinton Street Theater. You will not regret it. They got some great rooms.
It's December, so they're having their annual Cohen Film Festival, which ends with multiple showings of The Big Lebowski. So hopefully you will see me either at one of the showings of The Big Lebowski or one of the Coen Brothers movies, because I would love to go.
So what is this one?
So this is Aaron's pick.
Okay.
This first
Ooh.
one.
Aaron, be kind. Oh, okay, yeah. Hoo-ah.
So Aaron had initially chosen
Scent of a Woman is the pick.
Scent of a Woman.
Oh
is the pick,
my!
yeah.
I have so much to say, but anyway.
So he originally chose 3 movies. I'm not going to say which ones because he might come back. Okay. But this was the only one that he had mentioned that I had not ever seen before. And so I figured it would be a great conversation.
Oh, you're going to go on a journey, my friend.
All right.
That's fabulous. Shameless plug number 2. I do a podcast about blind representation in movies and TV.
Oh, cool.
With Sky, who is a good friend of mine. We're Citizen White Cane. We're still up on Spotify. And we talked about Scent of a Woman.
Oh,
yeah.
rad.
So we've definitely seen that one.
Does it get the thumbs up or thumbs down or thumb in the middle?
You know, I remember because it's been at least a year since we've talked about it. So I remember probably the middle.
Yeah.
I didn't hate it nearly as much as I thought I was going to.
Okay.
As far as blind representation,
well, yeah,
no.
You got Al Pacino playing the lead. That's
no. But we had a really interesting conversation about veterans and disability because he is a veteran in the film. So,
all right, interesting.
Anyway, yeah. Well, I don't want to steal Aaron's thunder, so
okay, all right.
I can't stand this one upright because it is sealed. Okay, what is this one?
This is my pick.
Random or no?
Not random. And well, just look at it. It's not random.
It's an enclosed box.
No.
Oh.
Okay. I originally brought this home to watch it, and we didn't get to, so now we have to.
We have when was this one released?
It's Nostalgia Merchant, which actually means it would have been one of the first VHS that was released for private ownership.
That makes
Oh,
sense.
so-
why
wow.
it's
So,
okay, why it
closed on
comes-
the
Right. Yeah. When VHS first came out as a platform, it was largely limited to just the video stores.
Mhm.
And so the studios technically owned all the VHS.
Right.
And Nostalgia Merchant was one of the companies that went into business doing things that were either in the public domain or like they did our version of Citizen Kane as well.
Oh,
Mhm.
gotcha.
So
Yeah, so this is the original uncut version of King Kong, the
Oh,
eighth wonder of the world.
yeah, I'm having
so-
my film history
so
moment.
good.
So that's why I've been picking all the stuff like
Okay.
All the
Citizen
nostalgia
Kane.
merchants.
Yeah.
Literally,
Yeah.
literally, I went down a rabbit hole last night watching YouTube videos, and one of my I really like this channel called Wait in the Wings, which talks about theater production,
Mm.
and he did a whole thing about the King Kong the musical and the puppet and the puppetry, and it's stunning. The musical is apparently crap, but the puppetry is absolutely stunning, and he's right. And
That's
it's
incredible.
insane.
And so you warned me that this was
This is the random. This is the random
Ooh.
one. The fates have not been kind this month.
Oh no.
Fate be kind. Fate be kind.
It's Tess.
Oh, I thought that was a J. That makes more sense. Tess of
Of
the
the
French name.
Dubervilles.
Yeah, that. Thomas Hardy's Tess.
Huh.
This looks like it is a period piece.
A&E
Ooh.
Home Video.
Oh, when Annie used to make
Yeah.
interesting,
Not reality show
not
trash.
reality show
Yeah.
trash. Yeah.
Right, right.
When they used to be the
Arts and entertainment.
yeah.
Oh my god.
Well, that means I can't speak to its quality, but it'll be interesting.
Yeah, right, right.
The next episode, we will have Scent of a Woman, 1933's King Kong, and Thomas Hardy's Tess.
Of the Dubervilles.
Mm-hmm. And we will also be welcoming Aaron Coulter
We'll be welcoming Aaron Coulter.
of the Clinton Street Theater. Excited to talk to him about his pick, which was Scent of a Woman. And thank you again to Melissa.
Thank you,
if
yeah.
folks want to find you, you were with it is the Fun House Comedy Lounge. Did I get that right?
Yeah, the Funhouse Lounge.
The Funhouse
we're just
Lounge.
Funhouse Lounge. Yeah. I mean, if you want to find me on the social medias, I guess you can't. I can't stand social media, so I don't really do much with that. But yeah, I'm almost always hanging out over at Funhouse Lounge. Or if you are not tired of my voice, there's the Citizen White Cane podcast. That's we're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts as well, and that's me and Sky, and we just talk about more movies, focusing on blindness and disability representation. And thank you both so much for having me.
Yeah.
This was such a delight.
Awesome.
Thank
Well, we
you.
can't wait to have you back on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
cool.
would love to. Yeah,
right.
absolutely.
And thank you for watching this episode of Mystery Simon Theater 3000. If you're watching it, please like and subscribe. Leave a comment about your favorite movie, perhaps. If you'd like to see the list of titles, you can see them at MSimonT3k.com. If you're listening to this feed, you can listen to it as a podcast. We're available at fine podcast retailers. And thank you to producer Johnny for wrangling all of our guests, for editing this, and writing our intro music.
Well, thank you,
Thank you and good night. I'll see you on the other side.
folks.
Bye.